Hi everybody and welcome back to Dragon Eye Creations. If you're new here, my name is Laurel and I love to create. I create all kinds of things. One of our favorite things is of course gnomes, and it is that time of year when we are starting to think of our Christmas crafting. So I thought I'd do something a little different, and I made this adorable little Christmas fairy gnome couple. They are so cute. They are made out of toilet paper tubes, so very inexpensive to make, and I'm sure you probably have some around your home. So I'm going to show you guys right now how you can make your very own adorable fairy gnome couple. We're going to start with our polymer clay to make our little noses here. So we're just going to make little balls and then use a ball stylus tool here and just make some little nostril holes. And that's about it for a nose. These ones are about 1/2 inch big. I'm making a few of them. I usually make a few extra noses when I'm at it. And we are going to make our little hands now. This, if you've watched my videos before, we're doing the same thing we do before. We're just going to make some little teardrop kind of shapes here. Just a little smaller than we usually make. And then we just make one little slice for a thumb. Cut the tip off to make it a little shorter, and then we're just going to round out our edges. Same thing for the other hand, a little slice, cut off the tip, and round out our edges. And then just added some detail work here with our tool. And I'm going to do the same thing for the second gnome. We're going to just poke a hole in the base of our mitts here as well, just to put our wire in later for our arms. And now we're going to bake those at 130 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. Next, we're going to take 2 toilet paper tubes and we're going to mark them 1 inch down on both tubes and then just cut that 1 inch right off. Okay, next we're going to take some white plush material. This is about 3.5 inches wide, and we're just going to roll up our paper tubes in it using some hot glue. Just cut off the extra when you're done, and then we're just going to hot glue right at the top and just tuck that right inside. Same thing for our other one, just hot gluing it and rolling, tuck it in. Next we're going to take some pipe cleaners and we're going to cut 2 of them at 7 inches long, and then we're going to take 2 more and cut them at 7.5 inches long. I'm going to then cut some more of that white fabric at about the same width as our pipe cleaners, and we're just going to roll up our pipe cleaners in them now, just using some hot glue and then a nice loose roll. We don't want to roll that tight at all on there. Just glue it and a loose roll, gluing a little bit more at the end when you're done, and then you can just trim off the extra. And we did that for all 4 of them. Next, I traced out a circle just using our toilet paper tube, just on a piece of cardboard here, and I cut that out. And now I'm just gluing it to that white material, and we're going to do a loosely cutting a circle around it, just so we have enough that we can tuck that in with some hot glue as well, just folding that all around our circle. And then we're going to take one of those, the longer pipe cleaners that we rolled up, and we're just going to fold it right in half and glue it right to the front of our circle there. And then run some hot glue all around the circle and all around the bottom of our toilet paper tube where we tucked in the white material. And then we're just going to glue that right on there and press firmly. Same thing for the other one, a loosely cut circle around it. And then tack it all down. Adding our legs in the front. Next we're starting on our hats. So we are using a really plush minky for this. This is about 7 inches long and it's about 5 inches wide. And we're just going to cut that there and fold it right in half. I'm using some clips to hold it just because it is slippery to cut. And we're going to cut just a triangle shape right to the top of the fabric there. And then we're going to glue it good side to good side, folding it back in half again. Just running a strip of glue along there, pressing it down. And then we'll fold it right side out. And next I'm going to cut a strip of this white faux fur. This was a Halloween costume that I cut up that I'm using here. So I'm just going to cut a strip and then run a strip of hot glue, fold down the edges. Same thing on the other side, just so they meet in the middle. This is just going to give us a nice piece of trim to use. So first I'm going to tack it down all around the bottom of his hat. And then trim off the extra. Next we're going to start on her hat. So again, it's about 7 inches long. This one is a little wider though, so I'm not going to cut it all the way to the top. Again, just cut our triangle shape and then hot glue it down together. Turn it right side out. Adding our trim piece. Going to have to make some more trim. My other one wasn't long enough, unfortunately. Hot gluing that all the way around the bottom. Next for his beard, this is about 2.5 inches wide and about 2.5 inches long. And I'm just going to cut it into a triangle shape at the bottom. And then we're going to hot glue that right to the front of him, making way for his nose later. The noses are now done, so I'm going to add a little pink mica powder just right to the top and 3 little white dots using a white acrylic marker. I'm going to now work on her braids. For this, I'm using 3 strands of faux fur yarn. And I'm just going to use a clip to hold them in the middle and just start braiding it. These are about 12 inches long, which is too long, I know, but for starters, this is what we're starting with, and then I'll cut it to where I want it after. Just finish it with an elastic loosely at the bottom, just loosely because I'm going to move it up to where I want it now. And then just trim it the length you need it to be, gluing it right to the top of your tube here. Now to add the noses, I'm just going to use a little E6000 right in the center of the nose with a little hot glue around the outside. The E6000 just helps to hold the polymer clay long term. Hot glue will let go of polymer clay. It doesn't hold it very long, but it does help it to set faster, so we add both. Now I'm just adding a few stones, little pebbles here. These are just from Dollarama. You get them in a bag. And I'm going to add just about a handful in the bottom of each one, and then top it off with some polyfill, just so they're not rattling around in there. So we're going to cut 2-inch long pieces of wire. We're going to add a little E6000 to that and put it right into the holes on the bottom of our hands that we had made. Just push it in there firmly. And then a little E6000 again on the other end of the wire so that we can put them into the sleeve of our coat. Use a little hot glue again to help hold it quickly. Just push it right in there and then push the sleeve together at the bottom. Same thing on the other side. Little E6000, little hot glue. Push it right into your sleeve. Hold it together. And now we're going to take that extra little bit of trim from the hat and we're going to wrap that around the bottom of his sleeves here. Just finishes off his nice coat here nicely. And just trim it off. I'll hot glue around the whole sleeve and then wrap your trim around it. To add the arms, I'm just going to put some glue right in the middle where it had bent them around there. And we're going to add them near the front of our tube. Same thing for our girl. And we're going to add her arms and hands now. And now we're the trim around there as well. And next I'm going to add this pink ribbon to the bottom of her braids. And now I'm going to take these party favors and I'm just going to cut them at about 1/2 inch long. We're going to need 4 of those and 4 of the tiny size of these beads here, these little wooden beads. And I'm just going to glue that to this cardboard, that same cardboard that we used for our circles earlier. And just glue those beads right in front of the tubes. And then we're going to trim around our cardboard. And then we're going to take those and wrap them in fabric, adding hot glue all around the base and just wrap them in the same fabric we use for our hats. And then a little hot glue right on top of the bead, and you can press that down and press your sides together. It's a little bit hard to tell on this really fluffy stuff. You can tell better on the other boots when I do those ones next. And then I just trimmed around the bottom a little bit. So a little hot glue right along the top. Press it together. And I did decide to paint the bottom of them. I didn't like the cardboard at the bottom, so I just painted the bottom of them a white color. These ones are easier to do it before we wrap them in the fabric. And now you can see we're going to wrap them all the way around once again, trimming off our edges. Hot glue on the top, push it back, and then push your edges together, tucking into the little hole. And then a little bit of hot glue right inside your bootie and attach that to our legs. Same thing on our other one. Next we're going to decorate our hats. So I got these little decorations from Dollarama. We're just going to take the clip off the back and then just hot glue them right to the top of our hats. And then I took these little berries, they're little silver berries, and we added those. And then I'm going to add a little pine cone to them as well. All these pieces came from Dollarama. For our fairy wings, we're just going to take the wings off of these little butterfly clips. Normally they just pop right off. This one did not want to, so I had to actually cut them off. But then we're going to glue them right to the back of our tube here. And then take the little piece of trim that you have left over and just put that right in between your two wings. Next, hot glue all around our hat. I did add some polyfill inside the hats as well. So hot glue around it and then press it on. See, these ones popped right off, as you can see, and then we're just going to hot glue those again right to the back of our gnome here. Right near the bottom, about 3/4 of the way down, I'd say. And then a little fur trim again right in between them. Hot glue all around our hat that we added polyfill to the inside of. I decided I needed to add a little skirt to our girl, so I'm just going to use this pink iridescent ribbon and some white faux fur yarn for a trim, and we're just going to put that all along the top here. I did fold it in half so it's two thicknesses wide, or two thicknesses. And then we're just going to hot glue that all around right near the bottom of her, just about 1/2 inch up. This would be way easier to do before you add the wings, but I didn't think of it till after, unfortunately. So I'm just hot gluing it all the way around and pleating as I go a little bit here and there. Not lots, but adding a little bit of pleats. We don't want it to be straight down because she's sitting and we need it to be kind of fluffy. And then I'm just going to hot glue the end there and fold it down. And there they are. Well, there we have it. Our little couple is all done. I am really happy with how they turned out. They are pretty adorable. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And I'd really love to hear what you think of the toilet paper tube idea. Let me know your thoughts on that. I love to hear from you guys. And thanks again for watching. You are so appreciated. And until our next fun creative idea, Love to all.